Recording in progress. Well, it's good to know we're making progress, at least with recording. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Sanga. I am broadcasting, as we say, from, where am I? Krishnavdhur, yeah, near Krishnavdhur, near the farm, the Czech farm, which is southeast from Prague. And I'm at the house of Prananath Hari, who is sitting right next to me, and Chitramalini, who is hiding behind the door. And we also have Alal. And I think we're ready to go. We have all the different machines, including harmonium and so on. So, and we have the internet connection. And it seems the neighbor stopped making the noise. It seems like he understood. Huh? We had some quite loud noise next door of cutting wood or something. And the concern was it was going to disturb the broadcast. Of course, he could start up any moment. We'll see what happens. Okay. So let's begin with some pranati mangala charana. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha Nama O Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So again, welcome to Saturday's Sanga, speaking from the Republic of the Czechs, the Checking Republic, where everything is checked very carefully. What means check? No, nothing special. Okay. I hope you all had a nice celebration yesterday of Shri Gaur Purnima, the appearance of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also known as Vishvambara and Nimai Pandit and Shachinandana and many other names. We had a very nice festival in the southeast of Czech Republic with the Moravian Yatra, somewhere in a small village, southeast, with, we were told, some 140 devotees. We're all crowded together. None of us wearing any masks, so let's see what happens. Hare Krishna. Yes, it was nice to be, with devotees again. And last week, on Sunday, we had a very nice Sunday program in the Berlin temple. Also quite full temple, nowhere near 140 devotees, but the temple room was quite full and everyone was in very jolly spirits. And everyone were wearing masks. So, yeah, when in Berlin, do as the Berlin people do, or whatever. Anyway. Yes, and here's Kalyana Giriraj to confirm that we had program in Berlin temple. It was their first event, their first program since 2 years. And so they were very happy to come together again. Yeah, this is the program. Sadhu Sangha. This is Sadhu Sangha, Krishna Seva, Bhagavata Nama, Rajevasa, Panch, Sadhana Pradana. The Pradana, the foundation of sadhana, is what? 5 things. Association with devotees, service to Lord Krishna, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, and chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Or it just says nama, which can be names, but we understand names of the Supreme Lord, especially the name Krishna, Hare, Rama. Okay, we also have with us a very nice harmonium, and so we can have some association of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur from his songbook Kalyana Kalpataru. And although we received a link again to song number 2 with his best of intentions, Dharmagupta, but we're still on song number 1 of this section. Let me see where we are. Yeah, we're still on song number 1 of Upalabdhi, Sambandha-Abhideya-Prayojana-Vijnana, song number 1. And we're getting this compact lesson. And I believe we got up to verse 24, completed verse 24 last time. Just for a little review, Maya Suke Marta Jiva Sri-Krishna-Bhajana She Se Abhidya-Base Asmita Janmilo, which would mean something like enjoying or being happy in Maya, Marta, thinking. The Jiva Bulilo has forgotten Sri Krishna, Se Avidya-base, absorbed or by the force of avidya, asmita janmilo. He is born in this consciousness of asmita, which means well, there's avidya, asmita, raga-dvesa, and abhinivesha. It's a kind of sense of isolation, really. I exist, asmi, but it's kind of isolationist, separatist. Then 24, asmita hoite, hoilo, maya binivesha. Taha hoite jorogoto, raga dvesa. Okay, so he's summarizing the kleshas from classical yoga, but he's calling abhinivesha, he's calling maya binivesha. That's interesting. And he's giving, let me see the translation of this, 24. From such selfishness, okay, asmita, he's translating it selfishness. She, that is all of us, the jivas, becomes rapidly absorbed in illusion. That's his translation of maya abhinivesha. And then she develops angry grudges, wow, and envious hatred toward other living entities. That's a very interesting translation. Okay. Anyway, let's continue with the next, let's say, 12 verses. And I think I'll just read the translation to start with. 25. In this fashion, the living entities are entering the wheel of fruitive activities, oscillating thereupon and gradually wandering up and down. The word oscillating, you may not know. Oscillation means going back and forth, back and forth. And so I guess that's the idea here of up and down, wandering, in being absorbed in fruitive activities. Katcha Habudububai, in another song from from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, I don't remember the beginning of that song, but Katcha Habudububai, oh brother, Bai, you are going up and down, bobbing up and down, sometimes above the water and sometimes below the water, drowning and coming up and going down. 26, where is the supreme eternal spiritual bliss of Vaikuntha, full of Krishna's transcendental pastimes? And in comparison, where is so-called material happiness, in which everything is spoiled by its actual misery? That's two kind of rhetorical questions. Now I want to see the Bengali. Kota she Vaikuntha Ananda Sri Krishna Vilas, Kota Maya Gata. Okay, so Kota is the question. Kotai means where. Bangla Bhasha. Where is this Vaikuntha Ananda? Where is Sri Krishna Vilas, Krishna's pastimes are going on? Kota, Kotai, Maya Gata Shuka, the happiness which has gone, Gata, in Maya, Dukko Sarvanash. It's just destroying the misery of that so-called sukha is destruction, is complete destruction. Chit tattva hoya jiber maya abhiramana atitucha jugupsita ananta partono. Let's see what we have. That's 26. 27. Then, when the fine particle of cognizant truth becomes addicted to the illusory energy, she suffers unlimited defeat at the hands of the very same Maya, and thus she is abused and defamed until she falls into an extremely insignificant position. So we're getting kind of little analysis here of the process of entanglement in material existence. It started with verse 19. All the souls in whom the desire to enjoy separately awakens have to enter into the material world under the false conception of being a male Purusha. And then it goes on, we've gone through this now. 28, alas, how wonderfully astonishing it is that the soul, although composed of transcendental energy, has accepted such difficulty by faithfully serving the temporary material body in various ways. How wonderful. Wonderfully astonishing. Thus wandering and wandering, if by chance the poor soul gets the association of the devotees of the Lord, then her eternal nature, which has been for so long covered over, will once again become aroused. Okay, now we're starting to get good news again of progressing out of Maya. Number 30, By discussing topics concerning Krishna in the association of devotees and thus awakening her previous mentality of servitude to Krishna, all bondage to Maya's illusion become severed. So how is Maya's illusion bondage severed? By discussing Krishna topics, Krishna Katha, in association with devotees. So that's what we are trying to do in these sanghas. 31. When the conditioned soul thus looks toward Krishna, then by such an act, then this very same Maya in the form of transcendental knowledge severs all of her material bonds. The very same Maya. Oh, okay. In the form of transcendental knowledge. Perhaps yoga Maya. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more verses we'll do. 32, the seat of this transcendental knowledge is present within this very universe as the eternal Vrindavan Dham in India. Lord Krishna expands his abode and pastimes at this Vrindavan just to facilitate the conditioned soul's practice of devotional service. So that's a nice explanation of the purpose of Vrindavan. Vrindavan facilitates conditioned souls' practice of devotional service. When she comes into contact with this Vrindavan, the living entity becomes overwhelmed and lost in emotional ecstasy, remaining under the shelter of Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya. She attains eternal service. This is looking like very good news. 34, the Lord's pastimes of appearing in this world, as well as his pastimes in Goloka, are one in the same truth. Being non-different, they are simply two types of manifestations of the same pastimes. 35, the eternal pastimes in Goloka are the abode of all the eternally liberated servitors, whereas the manifest pastimes in the material world are the refuge for all of the bound up conditioned living entities. Therefore, 36, Vrindavan is the living entity's original eternal home, manifesting its own eternally true nature within the dead material world. And then it's going to continue from there, elaborating on taking shelter of Vrindavan. Okay, which is taking shelter of Vrindavan Dham can also, I want to mention, can also be inspired very much by reading Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur's Sri Vrindavan Mahimamrita. Okay, so now we can sing, and this is going to be starting with verse 25. E rupe jiva karma chakre praveshiya ucha vacha gati krame pirena brahmiya rupe jiva karma chakre praveshiya uchavacha gati grame pirena brahmiya kotase vaikuntananda sri-krsna-bhajana kotamaya gata sukha dukkha sarvanas kotase vaikuntananda sri-krsna-bhajana kotamaya gata sukha dukkha sarvanas Tattva hoya jiver maya virama atitucha jugupsita ananta patan Tattva hoya jiver maya virama atitucha jugupsita ananta patan Maika deher bhava bhave dasya kori Paratatva jiveki kashta ahamari Maika deher bhava bhave dasya kori Paratatva jiveki kashta ahamari Brahmite, Brahmite jadi sadhu-sanga punarai gupta nitya-dharma-base Brahmite, Brahmite jadi sadhu-sanga punarai gupta nitya-dharma-base sadhu-sange Krishna kotha hoy alochana purva bhava udhi kote mayar bandhan sadhu-sange Krishna kotha hoy alochana purva bhava Udhi kote mayar bandhan Krishna prati jiva Krishna prati jiva jabe kore na ikka vidya rupam maya kore bandhana chetan Krishna prati jiva jabe kore na ikka vidya rupe maya kore bandhana chedan maika jagate vidya nitya vrindavan jive sadhana janya kore bhibavan maika jagate vidya nitya vrindavan jive sadhana janya kore bhibavan se vrindavane jiva bhavavishta hoje nitya seva labha kore chaitanya ashraye se vrindavane jiva bhavavishta hoje nitya seva labha kore chaitanya ashraye prakatita lila goloka vilas ek tattva binna noy devidha prakas prakatita lila ar goloka vilas ek tattva bhinna noi dvidha prakash. Nitya-lila, nitya-dasa, ganer niloy, ekropata-lila, bata jiver ashray. Nitya-lila, nitya-das, guner niloy, ekropata-lila, bata jiver ashray. Ataeva Vrindavana Jiver Abhaj Asar Samsare Nitya Tattva Prakash. Ataeva Vrindavana Jiver Abhaj Asar Samsare Nitya Tattva Prakash. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Haribo, 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 Nitya-go, Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai. Again, welcome everyone on this fine early spring day, we can say. Speaking from Czech Republic. What I'm thinking to do today is, because yesterday was Gaur Purnima, I think we should have some discussion about Lord Chaitanya. And at the same time, well, I'm doing a bit of multitasking. I'm preparing for a presentation, which I will be giving this coming Tuesday for the University of Mumbai conference on Bhakti in Vaishnava traditions. Actually, I think it's open for anyone who wants to attend. So sometime I can give the link if you like to attend. Actually, the whole conference goes for 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's going for some hours every day. My own presentation will be the very final event on Tuesday. I'm being billed as a special lecture. Special, I think, just means they're giving more time. And I'm not sure why, but they're giving an hour, whereas most of the presentations are half an hour. Anyway, my topic is going to be Lord Chaitanya's pilgrimage to Vrindavan. And that's what I thought we can discuss today. I started this discussion a few days ago in Leipzig, and we were reading Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 17. Excuse me. The story of Lord Chaitanya's pilgrimage includes both chapters 17 and 18. And so today I thought, let us enter into chapter 18. And I'm hopeful to also highlight, I've noticed 2 or 3, maybe there are more, instances within this chapter where the subject of interpretation becomes relevant. And I mention this because this goes back to our ongoing subject of hermeneutics. And what is hermeneutics? It's about interpretation. It's usually related to interpretation of Shastra. What we may see in this chapter is interpretations not specifically of Shastra, but interpretations described in Shastra. Okay, but let me go to where I found, okay. And now I would think it's possible to share this. So let's see if we can. And we can go here. You know, I want to try something else instead of going to Firefox. What if we go to desktop 1 and then switch? Bear with me, I'm making an experiment and it may work or it may not. Okay, this takes us there, but then we want to go to here. Okay, now the question I need to hear from at least one of you is whether you see what I see, which is CC Madhya 18.4. Ah, we're getting 2 thumbs up from Arunadai Sri Dasi. Good. Just what we wanted. Okay, now I'm going to have to move this a little bit away. Okay, this may work. Yeah. Oh, good. All right. Here we go. And to get us in the mood, I will chant Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Nanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda So we are reading from chapter 18 of Madhya Lila Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita library. It says on the screen. This is the Veda-base, which you can find on the internet. And the previous chapter is describing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's journey from Puri, beginning with his adventures going through the Jharkhand forest, meeting with all the wild animals, inspiring the animals to chant Hare Krishna and even to embrace each other, tigers and deer embracing each other. Who can imagine? And Upalabdhi standing by and being astonished. Through his visit to Varanasi, where he hears about, but does not meet directly yet with Prakashananda Saraswati. And then he proceeds on to first to Mathura and then to Vrindavan. In Mathura, he is welcomed. Mathura is, at the time of Lord Chaitanya, a very established town. It's an ancient town, actually, even from modern historical perspective. And from there, he goes, he begins his, we can say, the parikrama proper, the touring of Vrindavan and the forests. It's only mentioned very briefly that his touring of the forests, which is to say they're kind of given as a list, as we may see. But in the very beginning of this chapter, practically beginning, we have this where Lord Chaitanya is discovering or rediscovering Radha Kunda. Verse 4, Arite Radha Kunda Varta Puche Lokastane Kehonahi Kohe Shange Brahmana Najane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the local people, where is Radha Kunda? No one could inform him, and the Brahmana accompanying him did not know either. So there's an unnamed Brahman who Lord Chaitanya has met in Mathura. And I have to check, I get a little mixed up. There's a couple of Brahmins mentioned. This may be the Sanodiya Brahmana, who's not named, but the son of Diya Brahmana is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, even though he is considered low class. Why low class? He's a Brahmin. Yes, he's a Brahmin, but he's a low class Brahmin. Why is he low class Brahmin? Because he acts as a priest for low class people. That seems to be the issue. But Madhavendra Puri recognizes actually he's a Vaishnava, therefore, and Lord Chaitanya recognizes actually he is a Vaishnava. Therefore, he's happy to have his association, to also accept food from him. This is a big test in traditional Brahmanical culture. Who will you accept food from? Okay, then. The Lord then understood that the holy place called Radha Kunda was no longer visible. Okay. However, being the omniscient Supreme Personality of Godhead, he discovered Radha Kunda and Shama Kunda in two paddy fields. There was only a little water, but he took his bath there. Okay, what I want to suggest is a matter of interpretation. And I'm not meaning this in a skeptical way. I'm simply saying that the farmer, whoever was farming this particular area, two paddy fields. Paddy means rice. So these were apparently rice fields. I don't know. I'm a little surprised because that they were growing rice in this part of India. But then again, why not? Because basmati rice is grown further north in the area, well, part of Punjab, I think. Also in Pakistan, there's basmati rice. Okay, so rice is quite possible. Point is that the farmer who's ever farming this, what he sees is just fields, is viewing this place as nothing special. It's a place to grow some rice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is identified here as Sarvagnya Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Sarvagnya, he sees, here is Radhakund, here is Shamakunda. He is having different sight from the farmer. That's the simple point. He's having a different sight from the farmer. And his sight is, well, it's not only different. Krishnadas Kaviraj tells us it's not just different, but it's superior. And how is it superior? Well, since he is Bhagavan, he is Sarvagnya, omniscient, we say in English. Omniscience is a quite interesting concept. It's found also in the Jain tradition. The Jainism, they have the idea that all of the, what they call tirthankars, the perfected beings, and perhaps also they have several different categories. I'm not familiar. I just know that tirthankars they are considered to be jiva because they don't have a Vishnu Tattva category. So they're jiva Tattva, as we are all jiva Tattva, but they are perfected jiva. Perfected means they have completely 100% or 108%. They have shed all karma, all karmic reaction. And one of their resulting features is that they become sarvagya. They become all-knowing. Just exactly what that means in Jainism, I don't know, but one thing I just heard yesterday, I was attending a conference yesterday, a discussion of philosophy, Indian philosophy, well, philosophy generally. And the presenter, Purushottam Bitli Moria, professor in many places, Australia, Canada. Anyway, he was discussing mainly about Jainism. And one point he made, which struck me, was, if I understood him right, he was saying that there's a kind of collective omniscience. So all of the Tirthankaras together, they're each one individually sarvagya, and then collectively they're sarvagya. How does that work? I don't know. But the idea of sarvagya in relation to this Jainism, one way of understanding is that their idea of syatvad, or what's the other term? Famously, we all know the story of the 6 blind men and the elephant. They're all trying to understand what is the elephant. So this example is used very much in the Jain tradition. The idea that they each are having a different experience of what elephant means. And they're making by this the point that each of us have our own perspective on reality, and it will be necessarily different from that of a person even maybe standing right next to us. So there are so many perspectives. But as I understand, when someone becomes sarvagya, then that's when the eyes are open. Instead of being a blind man just touching with the hand and getting limited knowledge, one is getting full knowledge. Aha, this is what an elephant is. Okay, enough of Jainism. Back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tirtha lupta jani, janiya Prabhu Sarvagya Bhagavan. This word lupta means lost. We have the word gupta, which can mean hidden. This is a lupta tirtha. Holy places, sacred places, tirthas, they manifest and then they become unmanifest. So one of the special accomplishments of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to rediscover Radha Kunda and Shama Kunda mentions here. Dui dhanya ketre alpa jale koila snan. Yeah, Prabhupada adds in the translation Radha Kunda and Shama Kunda, which are not mentioned in the verse itself. Radha Kunda is explained by Srila Rupa Goswami to be the most exalted place in the entire universe. It's the best of all places, most spiritually elevated. Why? Because it is most dear to Srimati Radharani. And who is Srimati Radharani? She is most dear to Krishna. She is the topmost of the goddesses of fortune. Devi Krishna Mayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva, what is it? Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanti Sanmohini Para. So Radha Kunda, this is a very big deal. It's a big thing that Lord Chaitanya finds Radha Kunda. So what does he do? It says there was only a little water. Alpa jale, koila snan, he took bath in this little bit of water. Now, you might wonder, some of you have been to Radha Kunda, some of you may have bathed in Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda, some of you, most of you probably at least have seen photos of Radha Kunda. And you see this big kunda with so many stone steps on all four sides. And you may be thinking, yes, but it's quite obvious. What's so lupta about this? Well, at the time of Lord Chaitanya, it was lupta. And then after he discovered it, rediscovered it, and made it known, this is Radha Kunda. Then eventually, it must have been some years later, and I won't remember, I don't know the details here, but as I understand, it was Srila Jiva Goswami who particularly arranged for the funding, the sponsoring by some influential persons to have Radha-kund excavated and built with its ghats, with its stone steps and so on, as we find it today. So that was a major service to the Holy Dome. Oh, there's a question here from Ananda Mayi. Can I tell something about the kunda inside Radha Kunda? You may have also seen pictures, photos, occasionally, I don't know how frequently, but occasionally the municipality of Radha Kund, they drain the Radha Kunda, and I suppose Shama Kunda also, to clean it because it collects so much mud over time. And you may see that when all the water is drained out, then in the bottom, there's a small rectangular area, which again drops down. My understanding is just that that would have been the original Radha Kunda, possibly at the time of Goswamis, before Jiva Goswami had arranged. Somebody's microphone is on. Okay, so this is about Radha Kunda. Now, then it tells more about, this goes for several more verses about Radha Kunda. I want to jump a little bit. And I'm not sure. Is there a search function? Page info, default view. No. Page info. No, that doesn't help. Sign in menu. What is this? Search. Yes, that's what we want. Okay. Okay. Then next, what we want is, yes, let's go. Okay. This will be 1815 search. And we go here. Oops. In case you are hearing a slight buzzing sound in the background here, it's because our neighbor has decided that today is a perfect day for him to do some wood cutting. Someone is translating. Who is translating and that we hear? Okay.
Krishna?
Yes, that's you. Who is this?
Oh, it's Salam Maharaj, I don't know.
Oh, it's very nice that you're translating, but we need to have your microphone turned to off. Can you do that? No answer. Okay, let's see. All right, let's go from here. Tabe chali aila prabhu sumana sarovar tahan govardhan daki hoila vivala. From Radhakund, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sumanas lake. When he saw Govardhan hill from there, he was overwhelmed with joy. Now the Sumana Sarovara, I'm showing my ignorance again, whether this is referring to what's usually called Manasi Ganga, I don't know, but it could be. All right, so he's arriving at Govardhan. Of course, Radhakund is at essentially the north end of Govardhan, so it's not very far from Radhakund that he is going to Govardhan Hill. When the Lord saw Govardhan Hill, he immediately offered obeisance, falling flat, falling down on the ground like a rod, dandavat. He embraced one piece of rock from Govardhan Hill and became mad. Ekashila alangiya ha'ila unmatto. Now, normally, if we can say there's anything that's normal, but normally if one embraces a rock, just some rock from some hill, one will not become unmatta. Yeah, again, Salim, I think there's a problem here.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's embracing Ashila. And why is he falling in unmatta? Why is he becoming maddened? Because he perceives this is no ordinary shila. Shila simply means stone. Eka shila, one stone. So there's countless stones on this planet, but this is one stone that causes Lord Chaitanya to become mad. Why is that? Because he is regarding this stone as something special. He's regarding this stone as being non-different from Krishna himself. Again, this is, we can say, a kind of interpretation. Or we can say it's perception, where since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's been established as being sarvagya, as being omniscient, he is having a power of perception that we don't have, in such a way that he perceives Krishna's direct presence in this stone. Mad with ecstatic love, the Lord came to the village known as Govardhan. There he saw the deity named Harideva and offered his obeisance unto him. So that's interesting historically. It means that that temple, and again, those of you who have been there, you may have gone, you may have seen the Harideva temple, and it may have struck you, it seems like a quite old temple. I don't know what the historians say how old, but this is one of the older temples. It was already existing when Mahaprabhu came. And so he offers obeisance to Harideva. Now, that is something we see quite a bit of in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj clearly wants to emphasize something. See, whenever you write something, you're making a lot of choices. You're choosing what to say, and you're also choosing what not to say. Because there's no question of saying everything. You could say unlimited things about whatever it is you're writing. You could say unlimited things about a day in your own life. But maybe you want to give a description to someone of a day in your life, so you make selections of what you feel is significant. Similarly, Krishnadas Kaviraj is making selections of what he considers significant. I think to keep this in mind is helpful to appreciate Chaitanya Charitamrita and to appreciate the mood of Krishnadas Kaviraj as he's writing. So one thing that he chooses to include is that Lord Chaitanya visits different temples. And when he goes to these temples, what does he do? He offers obeisance and he experiences great ananda. Again and again, this idea comes that he is very joyful. So in this way, Lord Chaitanya becomes a kind of, he validates, he makes authorized. In other words, someone may have a doubt. Someone may say, well, I don't know about this deity worship business. These Hare Krishnas, they have their images, these idols and so on. I don't know if this is something I want to get involved with. And maybe, just maybe, Krishnadas saw some doubt in Bengal. He's writing for the Bengalis in Bengal. That's his whole purpose. And so if he says to them, look, Lord Chaitanya was visiting this temple, this temple, this temple, this, then people will appreciate, oh, okay. Well, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is visiting these temples and worshiping and becoming ecstatic, then it's bona fide, as we say. Oh, Ananda Lila is telling us, thank you, that Kusum Sarovara is also known as Sumana Sarovara. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Then, okay, mad with ecstatic love, the Lord came to the village known as Govardhan. So he's already in this ecstatic mood. And he sees Haridev. Okay, what happens next? Mathura Padmer Paschima Dale Janubhas Harideva Narayana Adi Parakasha. Haridev is an incarnation of Narayana, and his residence is on the western petal of the lotus of Mathura. So we're getting a little bit of sacred geography in the form, thinking kind of in terms of a yantra, locating this particular temple in relation to the whole of Mathura. Mad with ecstatic love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to dance before the Haridev deity. Okay, and this is something that comes up several times in this description of Lord Chaitanya in Vrindavan and Mathura, is the reciprocation of the people. Hearing of the Lord's wonderful activities, all the people came to see him. Shabalok dakite aila ascharya shunya. Shunya, having heard, ascharya, wonderful. Like we have ascharyavat paschati kaschadinam, ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanya, ascharyavat chainam anyashrinoti shutvapyenam vedana chaiva kaschat. In Bhagavad Gita, how the soul is ascharya, hearing about, thinking about, talking about, it's just ascharya, it's wonderful. And the people were astonished when they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love and personal beauty. Prabhu Prema Saundarya. Dakiya. Loke Chamotkar. I think this word Chamotkar, someone could do a search on the database, how many times this comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a common word. It's a modern word, I believe, in Hindi, Chamotkar. Yes, Arunodai Shri is agreeing. Harideva Britya Prabhur Korila Shatkar. The priests who served the Haridev deity offered the Lord a good reception. So there's a welcoming of Lord Chaitanya at Govardhan. So it's not that Vrindavan and Braj is unpopulated. There is a community of Brahmins in Mathura who have, as I understand, they're there to the present day. They've been worshiping Varahadev. There are two Varaha deities in Mathura they've been worshiping since ages. And in a sense, they're the established community of this area. And then are coming Lord Chaitanya, and then are coming the 6 Goswamis, and then develops some Gaudiya Vaishnava presence from there. Okay, at Brahmakunda, the Bhattacharya cooked food, and the Lord, after taking his bath at Brahmakunda, accepted his lunch. Now, I'm quite poverty-stricken with knowledge of Braj because of having done so little parikrama. Apparently there's a Brahmakund at Govardhan. Otherwise, the Brahmakund I know of is in Vrindavan town, which, by the way, last I saw had been wonderfully renovated. First time I saw Brahmakund in Vrindavan, it was simply a garbage pit. I mean, literally, it was a garbage pit. Everyone was throwing their garbage there. Apparently, someone, probably some wealthy, business person or group, decided to transform, and they did quite a wonderful job. And by the way, this may also, you may find interesting. I just read this 2 or 3 days ago. You can find an article about this in the online journal called Vrindavan Today, which has all kinds of interesting articles about news, present day things happening in Vrindavan, in Braj, and also articles about the history and the culture and religion of Braj. There's an interesting article about the tantric dimension of Vrindavan, the worship of the goddess in Vrindavan. There are many, many representations of so the point being, what was my point? My point was that there's news, very interesting, that the government, I guess this is central government, central Indian government, I didn't read it carefully, is putting a huge amount of money into Vrindavan to renovate and create a pilgrimage, a way for pilgrimage to go around the entire Braj area. They're investing, according to the article, 5,000 crore rupees. I don't know what that comes to in dollars or euros or whatever, but it's a lot of money. A crore is 10 million. So 5,000 times 10, so that's I think that's 5 billion rupees. And 5 billion rupees divided by, what is it today? About 80. Anyway, it's a lot of money. One of our mathematicians will certainly figure this out. And well, they seem to be wanting to promote Braj Parikrama. I just hope that they make nice place with nice soft sand without thorns. That's what I think is the most important thing. Because it's the thorns that really devastate. Okay, the Lord stayed at the Haridev temple. Ratre Mahaprabhu kore monete bichare. During the night, he began to reflect. What is he reflecting? Govardhan upare ami kabuna choriba Gopal raye darashana kamone paiba. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, since I shall not at any time climb Govardhan Hill, how shall I be able to see Gopal Rai? Okay, so this is the beginning of a nice little interlude, a nice pastime. Gopal Rai refers to the deity Gopal, Govardhan, what is he called? He's called Nathji, generally or Govardhan Nathji, or Gopal Nathji. The deity of which we're reading here was discovered by Madhavendra Puri on the top of Govardhan, and Madhavendra Puri installed him, and he was worshipped by Bengali pujaris that Madhavendra Puri engaged in the service. But the story becomes muddy. It's not clear, the whole history. The Vallabha Sampradaya has a different story about, I believe they still credit Madhavendra Puri with discovering the deity, but there's some difference in their story, which part of which I find highly unlikely. But that's another thing. The point is, this is the same deity, and it was being worshipped for some time on the hill. But then, and there was at some point apparently a change of who took charge of the temple, and it came in under the possession of the followers of Vallabhacharya. And eventually, probably due to danger from Muslim attack, the deity was moved, and where he was moved to is the place in present-day Rajasthan, toward the west of Rajasthan, southwest sort of, called nitya-dharma-base. And there, the deity of Gopal is worshipped with great opulence. Quite amazing, the worship they do there. But that's another story. Here we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thinking, I want to have darshan of Gopal, but I don't want to climb on Govardhan Hill. Why does he not want to climb on Govardhan Hill? Because he considers Govardhan Hill as none different from Krishna. To put his feet on the hill would be disrespectful. So he is thinking. Or he is teaching us, he is giving the example. And so since the time of Mahaprabhu, followers of Mahaprabhu and others, most other people do not climb Govardhan Hill. We only circumambulate. There are locals, Brajvasis, who do climb on Govardhan Hill. And for them, they consider they have a different mood. Their mood is that Govardhan is one of us. We are all in the same family, and Govardhan has no problem with us climbing. But here, Lord Chaitanya is wondering what to do in order to have darshan of Gopal. Attamane kori prabhu mauna kori rahila, janiya Gopal kichu bangi uttaila. Thinking in this way, the Lord remains silent. And Lord Gopal, knowing his contemplation, played a trick. Okay, this is to us a case of interpretation. An outsider, let's say a mundane historian, might have a different understanding that there has been an attack or a threat, actually a threat of attack from Muslim soldiers. the Yavanas, as they're referred to in Chaitanya Charitamrita, who are very fiercely anti-murti seva from their own tradition of Islam, which is quite fiercely against any kind of imagery. And so out of fear, Gopal is brought down the hill to some village to avoid some trouble that may come. So here we're getting a Vaishnava perspective. We're getting what we would understand is the inside story. The inside story is that Lord Chaitanya wanted to see Gopal. He didn't want to climb the mountain. Gopal and Lord Chaitanya are actually non-different. So Gopal understands when Lord Chaitanya is having these thoughts, and therefore he reciprocates. And how does he reciprocate? He makes this external arrangement of fearing some attack, and so the deity is brought down off of the hill. That's what is meant here by kichubangi, some trick. Utaila was raised. Janiya, having known what Lord Chaitanya wants, Gopal kichubangi utaila, he arranged some trick, kichubangi. Anaru rukshave shailam svasmai bhakta-vimanine avaruhya gire Krishna goraya svam adarshayat. Now this is a Sanskrit verse. It's quite surprising that it comes here. Coming down from Govardhan Hill, Lord Gopal granted an interview to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was unwilling to climb the hill, thinking himself a devotee of Lord Krishna. There's no purport to this. It's just very odd that Krishnadas decides to write a Sanskrit verse here. But that's what he does. It would suggest that it's an important statement. Okay, so then we go on with the story. Gopal stayed in a village called Annakuta on Govardhan Hill. The villagers who lived in that village were mainly from Rajasthan. Annakut Gram is a village toward the south on the, well, I think southeast, we can say. There's, so if you go from Radhakunda along the southeast side of Govardhan, because Govardhan is this long hill at a kind of diagonal east-west. So on the southeast side you go, and you come eventually to Govardhan town, and then you keep going, and oops, somebody has their microphone on again. And then, oops, crackly, can we turn off our microphones, please? Then you come to Bhaktivedanta Ashram, which was established by the late Tamal Krishna Goswami. Beautiful ashram. It was a king's summer residence, a local king's summer residence. King of Bharatpur, maybe. So then you keep going, and eventually you come to Annakutta Gram. That's what's referred to here. Annakutta means the great, grand feast, which is offered to Govardhan Hill when Lord Krishna requests the residents of Vrindavan, instead of preparing a feast for Indra, this year, let's do something different. Let's offer to Govardhan. And so they bring everything together. Prabhupada gives in a purport some description, quoting from Bhakti Ratnakara of Annakuta. And incidentally, this fifth wave, chapter 5, we can say, of Bhakti Ratnakara, is a very extensive, I think it's the longest chapter in the Bhakti Ratnakara. And it's a description of parikrama of Vrindavan. It's, what is it? Nityananda Prabhu guiding Jiva Goswami around Vrindavan. I think so. Long time since I read. Yeah, so that's just describing the significance of Annakuta-gram. Okay, here comes the trick. Ekkajono ashi ratre gram ike balila tomar gram marite turuka dari sajila. One person who came to the village informed the inhabitants, the Turkish soldiers are now preparing to attack your village. It's interesting, the word turuka is used. This might be the only place in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's not that these were specifically Turkish Muslims, but you can say anyone coming from the northwest, from what is now Afghanistan and further northwest or west, anyone sort of coming from that direction would have been regarded by local people as Turks. Okay, so this person is coming and saying, danger, danger, there's going to be an attack. Flee this village tonight and do not allow one person to remain. Take the deity with you and leave, for the Muslim soldiers will come tomorrow. Now, I'm personally a little confused by this because I understood that Gopal is on the top of the hill. Annakut Gram is not on the top of the hill, it's at the bottom of the hill. So if Gopal was already there, why it is that this is a trick? Oh, I can see the trick. Okay, he's being moved. No, something about it is a little unclear to me. Maybe someone can explain to me. But the point is that they move the deity, and where do they move? They move him to a village called Gantuli. And Gantuli Gram, I've never been to Gantuli Gram, so I can't say anything about Gantuli Gram. But the point is that he's worshipped there secretly in a Brahmana's house. And oh, it says he's moved several times. Well, it's not only the Gopal deity, other deities were moved several times. There's long histories. The Govinda Dev deity worshipped in Jaipur today, historians tell us he was traveling over a period of, I think it's something like 20 years before he finally came to where he is now. He was kept in different places, more or less in hiding. Sometimes he would live in a bush and sometimes in one village or another. Okay. Lord Chaitanya bathes in Manasa Ganga. He circumambulates Govardhan Hill, and he experiences ecstatic love doing so. And he shows his ecstasy by doing what? Dancing and dancing. And as he dances, nachite chalila shloka pariya, he quotes a famous verse. Hantaya madhirabala haridasa varyo yat rama krishna charana sparasha pramoda. Manang tanoti sahago ganayos tayor yat pani yasuya vasakandara kandamulai. Of all the devotees, this Govardhan Hill is the best. Oh, my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram, as well as their calves, cows, and cowherd friends, with all kinds of necessities, water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respect to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, Govardhan Hill appears very jubilant. Pramoda. Modha means happy. Pramoda means really happy. And why is he so happy? Govardhan is happy because Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha, because of being touched by the charana, the feet of Rama, that is Balarama, and Krishna. The word sparasha is an interesting one, just in the sense that the word normally would be sparsha. Sparsha means touch, but we have an added syllable. We see this sometimes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in some of his songs, he even signs his own name, Bhaktivinoda, instead of Bhaktivinoda, for the sake of the proper number of syllables in one line of song. So, Yat Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramodha. If the Ra were taken out, it would be Yat Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodha. We're missing a syllable. It would spoil the rhythm, and therefore this syllable is added. So Lord Chaitanya is remembering the Bhagavatam. That is to say, he's quoting Bhagavatam. And this is what in fancy words, fancy modern language would be called intertextuality, where one text is referring to another text. There's a lot of this in Chaitanya Charitamrita because one way to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, as I've probably mentioned here before, is that it's a commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we think about that, we can understand in this episode, we're getting a commentary on this one verse, which is spoken by the gopis, actually according to Acharyas by Srimati Radharani, I believe, that this is, we get a richer understanding of the verse by seeing Lord Chaitanya remembering this verse as he is circumambulating. He is seeing Govardhan, in a sense, through the eyes of the gopis. And because of this, he's seeing through the eyes of the gopis, and he's Lord Chaitanya. So we understand, okay, Lord Chaitanya has something to do with the gopis. he is, after all, we understand, in the mood of the gopis. That's his whole story, in effect. Okay, I'm gonna stop in a minute because I want to see what you all want to talk about. Okay, takes his bath in Govardhan Kunda. Here at Govardhan Kunda, which is south of Anukut. Wait a minute. Now I'm getting things mixed up. I was talking Anukut is Gram, it's south. Maybe it's the same, but Aniyor is south of Bhaktivinoda ashram, and I don't know where is Anukut Gram. Maybe it's the same. I would think it's the same because Aniyor means bring more, and that's what Govardhan, what Giriraj is saying when the residents are offering the Anukut. Okay, it's in any case, south of there is Govindakund, and this is a wonderful place, a beautiful place to just sit and chant Hare Krishna. This is where Madhavendra Puri was staying for some time. So at this place is where he hears that the Gopal deity has gone to Tulikram. Okay. So then he goes there and he sees Lord Gopal and he's overwhelmed by ecstatic love. And what does he do? He chants and dances. Prema Aveshe Prabhu Kore Kirtana Nartana. Prema Aveshe, he is possessed by prema. Prema has taken over his body. Avesha can mean possession. So he's been taken over by prema. As soon as the Lord saw the beauty of the Gopal deity, he was immediately overwhelmed by ecstatic love. And he recited the following verse. And then he chanted and danced until the day ended. And there's a longer purport here, which I think I'm going to jump over. It's explaining about Gantulikram. Govindakunda is mentioned. So, okay, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, may the left arm of Sri Krishna, whose eyes are like the petals of a lotus flower, always protect you. With his left arm, he raised Govardhan Hill as if it were a toy. Vamas tamarasakshasya bhujadanda sa patuvaha krida kandu katan yena nito govardhano girihi. He's quoting here Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Now, at this point, you might wonder, you might say, wait. He's quoting Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. How is that possible? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu was written by Srila Rupa Goswami after Rupa Goswami, came to Vrindavan, and he came to Vrindavan after he met Lord Chaitanya, whom he met after Lord Chaitanya had been in Vrindavan. So how is this? Well, there's two ways of understanding. Let's remember that this is Krishnadas Kaviraj writing, and remember that he is choosing what he wants to include in his book and what he's not going to include. So one way to understand, because Krishnadas Kaviraj is writing after Rupa Goswami has written Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that Krishnadas Kaviraj is writing this in the mood that Lord Chaitanya, why would he not speak this verse. He must have spoken this verse as he was circumambulating. Or we can say Krishnadas Kaviraj, being himself, in some sense, well, being blessed by the Lord, he had special powers, one of which, blessed especially by Nitya-Jnana Prabhu, he could have understood or heard that Lord Chaitanya had indeed spoken this verse at that time. And Rupa Goswami also understood this, and therefore he quotes it in his book. Well, I leave that open for reflection. How do we get this verse? But in any case, we have this verse, and we have Krishnadas telling us that Lord Chaitanya quoted this verse, or rather spoke this verse. We could also say, in general, Rupa Goswami wrote his Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu inspired by by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore, what's the difference? If we try to bring in the sequence of time, that just muddies the water. Hare Krishna. Let's, whoops, stop share, okay. Okay, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. We only touched this beginning of Chaitanya, of the 18th chapter, and there's so much more. Okay, what we have. Okay, Bhaktin Ipek tells us Chamatkar is around 95 times in the Veda-base. It seems that 5 billion rupees is around 60 million euros. So that's, that's pretty serious money. So let's see what they do with that money. Hopefully they don't spoil Braj even more. I hope they make it nicer and not worse. Hare Krishna. So maybe one or another of you would like to share something, show and tell time. Anybody want to, any news you want to share? Don't be shy. We don't have anything anything planned as such, but however you like. Somebody wants to tell us something. Otherwise, I may have to ask somebody, and then you'll be embarrassed. Maybe I should ask Rasadadi Hari, what's the news about book production? You have to turn on your microphone first. There.
I'm just writing a private message to you.
Oh,
but it doesn't. It seems that I couldn't do this here on Zoom. Anyway, it's a good time that I wanted to ask you if you can please answer my last email.
okay. The thing is, I've been on a kind of super turbo mode travel, and it's kind of been nonstop travel and giving lectures and one thing after another. And on top of all of this, I'm trying to not very successfully keep up with email.
Okay.
And also I'm in the midst of all this trying to prepare some things for my, academic universe. Especially for this coming Tuesday, I have to do something.
The situation is that the latest book, Yama and Niyama, is completely finished.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense that proofreading is done by one devotee, Govindaram. I wrote you about this.
Yeah.
And we are waiting you for cover approval.
Oh, cover approval, right.
Yeah.
I glanced at those and okay, I'll have to look again which one I thought was the best.
And of course, to send you also PDF to approve everything. Is it okay or not? Last time I said that 95% was done, and that meant that general index was not done, but Vrindaran Gopal did it. So it takes some really quite time.
Yeah.
I try to see if there is some program online, but everyone said better to do manually, otherwise programs they choose what they want and it's problematic.
Yeah.
And other things, well, Paravidya-mala second part is steadily going on in a sense that the help of Lalitamrita, I'm sorry, Mataji, we are editing. This is initial editing, not copy editing, that it's like book, and we are on the halfway. I think it will be done, let's say, till the summertime. And then we have editing, proofreading, printing.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Other things are going slowly, like transcriptions here and there. Pracharananda Prabhu is doing proofreading of this book, Krishna and His Opponents, finally.
Oh, good.
It will be done soon, whatever,
Okay.
I don't know what does it mean, soon, but soon. And that's more or less like that, Other things, other books are, well, we have kind of ready another one, but let's see.
Do you have, for printing Yama and Niyama, are there funds for that printing?
From present selling of this book, Paravidya-mala, we don't have. Still, we don't have funds. Okay,
so we have to discuss that.
Yeah, we will. We have something, but not enough, because mainly I gave devotees books, and I told them, when you sell, then give some Lakshmi back, and that's it.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. Anyway, I may have to, it looks like I may have to help out again.
The best, if you want. So if you are here around April or May, this maybe we will have Yama and Niyama already printed.
Oh,
let's see, like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's more or less like this. We'll see some other like Paravidya-mala 3, third. I mean, it needs a lot of editing. I don't know who will do this, but anyway, it is, this Vedanta, your seminar on Vedanta.
Oh,
long time ago. And Venu Pani has many remarks, where is this? This should be done, so many things. That we deal later with that.
Yeah.
And also there will be, I think it will be also your seminar in Pula, in university, all this ontology on epistemology on Vaishnavism, or I don't remember right now, but I put that in the third book so that we can go smoothly this second one.
Yes.
Yeah, and what else? Well, we discussed previously that we would like to have also this an idea that we can have what is this newsletter, which is done by Soumya Karuni, in a book. You know, I already put, there is already 220 pages, so filling up a little bit, and as I remember, Ananta Sarovara did quite some editing, you know, proofreading of this newsletter. So it's already almost done, in a sense. You know, we just need some details, and the latest, I noticed the latest maybe 5-6 newsletters were not corrected in Sanskrit. You know, previously there was Sanskrit correction, but now it's only English, like that. And you know, something to a little bit change and like that.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for the update. And Divyambara.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my obeisances to everybody. Well, speaking of books, first of all, thank you so much, Rasodari Hari Prabhu. You're extremely productive. I'm so amazed and how you manifest these books. By Guru Maharaj, thank you so much for this. I know how much effort it takes to produce just one book. But my news is that on the auspicious day of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, we submitted my new cookbook to print, and I can show you the cover if you like.
Yes.
Am I able to share my screen? Yes. This is the this is the front and back cover.
Oh, beautiful.
Offering to you, Guru Maharaj, and in service to all of you.
Joy of Balance, an Ayurvedic guide to cooking with healing ingredients. 80 plant-based recipes. Divya Altar. Very nice.
So
how long did it take to set up that one cover photo?
It took about 4 hours to make the arrangement. And it's challenging because we have to keep everything fresh, like all these leafy greens, but
oh yeah.
there's a way of doing it. And these are all also organic from the farmer's market just nearby. And some of them are from my garden also.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's going to be the same format and so on as your first book, right?
What's the same size, yeah, but the book is organized according to ingredients, so it's cooking by ingredient.
But the physical book is the same size and everything.
Yes, yes.
That's nice.
It came out really beautiful. I can't wait to offer it, the copy to you, Guru Maharaj. I mentioned you a few times.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, thank you for that showing. So when, yeah, that's the logical next question. So now when is it going to be printed?
It will be available in September, is the book launch. And we might have the book launch party at the Strand bookstore.
Oh, that will be something.
We'll see.
For everyone else here, the Strand is a big bookstore in, it's Union Square, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Union Square in New York, in Manhattan. And they sell mainly used books, but they're very popular. And I've been there a few times. Yeah.
We right now we live just 1 block away from the store, Guru Maharaj.
Really?
Yes, so we can't wait to have you over.
Yes, that would be nice too. Yes, it's, I want to say for everyone, you know, I'm always encouraging everyone to write. And you may be thinking so many things. I don't have time. I don't have anything to write, you know, whatever. But actually, that's not necessarily the final truth. It may be a kind of temporary truth. You may say, of course, you might want to say, well, if I write, then I'm taking away time from reading Srila Prabhupada's books, reading Guru Maharaj's books. So if you want me to write, then I'm not going to be read. So what is the point of that? Which could be a good argument. I'll have to think how to reply to that. I think the general point is where there's a will, there's a way, as we say, where everything can be done. You can read, you can write, and so on. And even if you don't see the prospect to do it now, but if you cultivate that desire, Krishna may help to give you the time to do it. Right, so I'm going to say thank you all very much. Now is our time to say Hari-Bol. And let's see, Ananda Leela, you have sent WhatsApp image. I don't see the image, but maybe you can tell us what this is.
Actually, we don't know how to send to the group, so we just took 2 photos from the Govardhan guide, and one of them is of the Brahma Kunda, just near Manasiganga. Near.
Okay.
Yes, there is a Brahma Kunda also in Govardhan Hill.
Okay.
Yes, and there is a small photo and picture, and there is the Brahma Kunda from the Govardhan Hill.
Very nice, thank you. I've just now downloaded them, and I suppose I will find them somewhere in my computer. Sometimes I don't know where things get downloaded to, and it takes a little time. But let's see, downloads. Oh, here we go. I just found it. Oh, there's, okay, Brahma Kunda. This sacred Kunda was created. Okay, it tells a story about it. It's 4 smaller kundas. After bathing in Manasiganga, having darshan of Harideva, Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. And thanks to all of you for joining us. And please keep well, keep peaceful. The world is in turmoil. This is my realization. The world is in turmoil, but fortunately there is Krishna, and Krishna is the lifter of Govardhan Hill, and we can always be under the shelter of Krishna in similar way as the Brijvasis in all circumstances. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Amarinda Ki Jai Hari
Guru Maharaj,
Guru
Hari
Maharaj.
Bol.
Jai.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, the brotherhood.
Thank you.
Hari Bol.